That means that my work is part foraging and part photography. I collect mushrooms, berries, and nuts and arrange them on lichenous stumps and mossy areas and photograph these nature collages. I'm not a scientist by training, but my work has led me to study some of the organisms I encounter. Through this work of looking at the ground and at logs, I have developed an affinity for a brightly colored, single-celled organism called slime mold. As you know, the theme of tonight is molding our future. So I'd like to talk to you about slime molding our future. Through this talk, I will introduce you to these fascinating creatures and encourage you to be on the lookout for them and give you a few ways to interact with them. At some point during this talk, you might start to worry that slime mold is dangerous or untrustworthy because it is a goo that is actively hunting things. But take heart, it's non-toxic. You can poke it with your finger. It wishes you, your pets, and your plants no ill will. It's really just fun and fascinating. So there's a few different types of slime molds, but the ones I have fallen for, called plasmodial slime molds, are myxomycetes. For short, scientists call them myxos. So slime mold, plasmodial slime mold, myxomycetes, or myxos. These are all synonyms. We're talking about the same thing. What is slime mold? While mold is in the name, it's not a fungi. It's not a plant or animal either. It's in the kingdom Protista. It's a single-celled organism that can grow quite large. Here are two examples of Fuligoseptica looking pretty robust. Both were easily visible from 20 feet away. Slime mold changes form during its life cycle also. When we see it out in the world, it's in one of two forms, plasmodium and fruiting bodies. The plasmodium is its gooey stage. It's from the plasmodium, fruiting bodies develop. This is its beautiful reproductive stage. Taking a closer look at the plasmodial stage, it is slimy and freeform in its features. It sends out tentacles looking for food. It's eating bacteria, fungi, and decaying leaves and sticks. It moves slowly, much slower than a snail moves. But if you happen across slime mold while it's in this stage and you have 5 to 10 minutes to spare, you can prop up a cell phone and make a time-lapse video. Your eye alone cannot detect the movement, but your phone will capture the undulating action of the plasmodium. Plasmodium has a few tools in the toolbox for navigating its environment, like photoreceptors, like those in our eyes for seeing, and chemical receptors, like those in our nose for smelling. It also has receptors to perceive pH and moisture levels in its environment. That's a lot for a single cell. The plasmodium is out looking for the most perfect food, using the most efficient way to get there. If one of the tentacles or branches finds some yummy morsel, the rest of the organism will retract from its area and move towards the food source. This is done through pulsating cytoplasm, the same movement you can capture with your cell phone. If conditions remain favorable, myxos change form from gooey plasmodium to the more structured fruiting bodies. This change takes place over a few hours to a few days. Here's a photo of a myxo changing from one form to another. You can see the honeycomb-shaped fruiting bodies forming out of the gooey plasmodium. Let's take a look at some of the different shapes of fruiting bodies that occur with the various types of slime mold species. Dog vomit slime mold. Admittedly, this one isn't beautiful, but it makes up for it in just grossness. Chocolate tube slime mold, looking pretty chocolatey. Carnival candy slime mold is bright pink and textured like cotton candy. Pretzel slime mold, looks like Bavarian pretzels. And raspberry slime mold, which is bright red and textured like fresh raspberries. I like that these names are pretty easy to remember and somewhat intuitive. So the fruiting bodies are really beautiful to look at, but they can be pretty small. Depending on how good your near vision is, you can usually see them unaided. But to really be able to see the details, you'll need a jeweler's loupe or even a cheap clip-on magnifying lens for your cell phone. All of the photos for this presentation were taken with my cell phone, but the more detailed ones required external magnification. You can also grow mixos at home by collecting the exterior bark from hardwood trees and putting them in a moisture chamber. A moisture chamber is essentially just a clean container with a moist paper towel in the bottom and a loose covering over the top. It can take a while, but with some patience, most bark from deciduous trees in our area will produce slime mold. If you live in Western North Carolina or the surrounding areas, you live in the specific place on Earth that slime mold loves best, which is temperate deciduous rainforest. They occur year-round, but I most often see them from late spring to early fall. They like decaying logs, leaf litter, and moist but not swampy conditions. All right, you can make a time-lapse video of the plasmodium. You can grow it, touch it, photograph it, and just generally appreciate these little beauties. Maybe your newfound appreciation of slime mold has inspired you to learn more. Facebook has a slime mold identification and appreciation group. The people there are ready to help answer questions. On TikTok and Instagram, hashtags like slime mold and mixomycetes have tens of thousands of posts. Both are free ways to learn more, and I hope that you do. In preparation for this talk, I've thought a lot about what it is I love most about slime mold, and I still don't know. Maybe it's that it makes me feel that I have microscopes for eyes, being able to see this single-celled organism. I also like that it's weird and gross and beautiful. Or maybe it's that in an uncertain world with a pandemic and global warming, I'm just comforted by unexpected encounters with these little beauties. I hope that I've inspired you to be on the lookout for it and to have a sense of curiosity and maybe even joy in finding our friend slime mold.